Hello, it's the 16th day of February 2023, and I'm saying a big thank you to you for joining me on another interesting episode of the newspaper review here on Thavtv. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and as you know, it has always been my pleasure to bring you the very best of headlines in various newspapers across the nation. Mr. Victor Sioku is the person that once again to look at the papers with me and of course talk on some of the headlines in today's paper. Sir, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
How do you do?
I'm all right.
The family?
It's been a while, bro.
It's been a while.
Since Valentine's Day, I've not seen your face.
And how have you been coping with the cashless policy right now, the rate of fuel scarcity right now? How have you been coping? You know, right now I think the 500 naira notes, the 200 naira notes, I think 200 naira is the only notes that is in circulation right now, still in circulation. Then the 1,000 naira notes and 500 naira notes are no longer, they are off the market right now. So what do you think this could cause for the upcoming elections?
It's a two-way thing, good and the bad. Okay, it's for the APC, they are not seeing it so nice because Nigerians are reacting, and it's not also favoring their own side. But for the opposition parties, they are okay with that.
Some banks are being burnt right now. Protesters are angry. There's no money to even get something to eat. People are hungry, and then you're saying that they can't use the old currency. Okay, where is the new currency? They still can't find the new currency. They go to withdraw money from the banks, and you're still giving them old currency. So what should people do? What do you expect them to do?
Tough time, my brother.
Tough times. Okay, so this and many more we shall be discussing in the newspaper review for today. As we start first by looking at the Vanguard newspaper, where we have some interesting headlines. This one on page 8 says, Old Naira notes. Buhari moves extension of validity till April 10th. Old Naira notes. Buhari moves extension of validity till April 10th. Okay, that's on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. On page 9 of the Vanguard, we have polls. Why Nigerians in diaspora can't vote. Polls. Why Nigerians in diaspora can't vote according to court, on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. On page 13, we have JAMB extends 2023 UTME registration for a week. JAMB extends 2023 UTME registration for a week. Okay, that's on page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. And on page 11, we have polls. FG summons Finnish envoy over Simon Ekpa's threat. FG summons Finnish envoy over Simon Ekpa's threat. Okay, more of that headline is on page 11 of the Vanguard. On page 13, again, we have day 5. We won't stop until Bawa goes. According to CSOs on page 13 of the Vanguard. Moving on now to further headlines in the Vanguard. We have this one here on page 5. Says fuel naira scarcity. 3 killed as protests rock Oyo, Edo, Benue, and the others. Fuel naira scarcity. 3 killed as protests rock Oyo, Edo, Benue, others. Okay, that's on page 5 of the Vanguard. On page 9, we have North suffered more under Buhari. That's according to Northern Elders. They say North suffered more under Buhari on page 9 of the Vanguard. And lastly, in the Vanguard newspaper, on page 19, we have inflation resurge to 21.82% over rising food prices. Inflation resurge to 21.82% over rising food prices. That's on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. That's the much you can take in the Vanguard for today. If you want more details on the headlines that you heard, get a copy of the Vanguard newspaper for yourself. Mr. Victor, I'd like to get your reaction on the old Naira notes. I think this headline here on page 8, Buhari moves extension of validity to April 10th. I would like to get your reaction to that headline, Mr. Victor.
Okay. the news is there, and yes, so to our viewers, I'm sure we watched the announcement by the president this morning that the 200 naira note, the old 200 naira note, will be back in circulation, but the 500 and the 1000 naira note is a thing of the past. Okay, yes, the Supreme Court also have moved hearing to January the 22nd, and but it's looking like the president does not really, in quotes, care about what is coming out of the Supreme Court. Where there are strong arguments, there have been strong arguments that the CBN should not be answerable to the Supreme Court. Okay, strong arguments. But I have my
why shouldn't they be answerable to the Supreme Court? Why?
Because they have their own mini laws. Should I call it? I will not be calling it mini laws, but they have their own act. Okay, that they are acting on. Okay, but for me, there is a big lacuna. There is a big hole out there, as in constitutionally, that has supposed to address all this matter. Because right now, Nigerians don't even know whether it is the presidency that should be answerable to the Supreme Court or the CBN. Okay, so there's plenty there's plenty for the courts to do and our judges to do. But going down to the details of what the president said, I think you will see a president that is well, I say the masterminder of all this, not even the CBN. Why do I say that? Because he has been having series of meetings with the CBN governor. Virtually almost every day, the reports have been there that the CBN governor went to see the president. And mind you, the president initially had made this thing to look like it's just the CBN thing. They've been trying to subtract themselves from the equation. Like, okay, it's the CBN, allow the CBN to do their job. But from this speech that we heard him this morning, you find out that this president is in charge when it comes to this CBN Naira policy. Why do I say that? Because he made some utterances which is not new. He made the utterance that this money is not, this policy is not to impoverish Nigerians or make them suffer, but this policy is to better our economy. He also made the point that it is also for the betterment of our security, because from his analysis that security has improved, especially when it comes to kidnapping and banditry.
But Mr. Victor, you don't expect them to come and tell us that the policy is supposed to make Nigeria poor, it's supposed to impoverish Nigerians. You're not expecting them to say that. They would say the opposite, to make Nigerians feel calmer. But the problem right now is it's almost next to impossible for Nigerians to be calm at this situation, even if the actual plans is not to make Nigerians poor and lack, but we just cannot keep calm. Nigerians can't keep calm. People are hungry and people need money to go about their daily businesses. And the way things are going right now, if the presidency, the CBN doesn't look into the situation at the moment and do something drastic, something good about this right now, I don't think it would tell to go down well with this country, even towards the election, because it's really going to cause problems, a lot of problems.
Mr. Siri, this is quite complex, but let me tell you this. I have problems with Nigerians, especially during this CBN policy. Okay. This news came out since October. Okay. Nigeria, we have some, will I say, belly tummy culture that we play out as Nigerians. The I don't care mentality. And the I don't care mentality, most Nigerians, when you ask them out there, do you want to go to the abroad? They will tell you yes. But you now ask the questions, are you ready to live the life of the abroad
in Nigeria?
And
they'll still say yes.
They will say yes. So I now ask the question. Mind you, this policy has been there since October, but can I tell you that most Nigerians don't have ATM cards? They still want to dwell in using raw Naira notes. Yes, special consideration for our elderly. Okay, our mamas and papas in rural area. Okay, but I also need to tell you this: if our mamas and papas have been taught how to use their mobile phones to call Oyedekachi, to call Siri, okay, to also know how to recharge their phones, to also know how to check their account balance, my brother, what is so too much for them to know how to use their USSDs? And it's there. Yes, one might say it is not working 100%, but it is also working. Now, mind you, we are all here in Nigeria calling all manner of bad names to our country. But mind you, the internet facility we have in Nigeria is even stronger than many countries in Europe. But yes, you might also come out to say the cost is too much. Well, mind you, the problem here too is that our economy is too bad for us to even earn so much that we can also pay for these services. Mind you, internet, phone, and all that you call, they are imported technologies. You need to pay them, and you pay them in USDs. But that aside, my other problem with Nigerians, like I've mentioned, them not using their ATM cards and all that. Many Nigerians will never use the transfer way of doing transactions. I mean, mobile apps and co. What will they tell you? That people will defraud me if I put this in my phone. I'll just wake up one night and they will take out my money. Foul. If you don't give out your information to fraudsters, they will not tamper with your data. They will not tamper with your money. It is when you start dishing out information, as in many cases, as illiterate as we are, or we are greedy. Might be two ways of fraudsters to come into your life. It's either you're a greedy fellow, you want to double 100 naira to become 1 million naira, or you do not protect yourself.
Okay.
You don't protect your data. You are busy. You see anywhere you launch, you open, you put in your details because of what? It also amounts to greed. When they send you those forms, when they send you those forms that they are sending you 100,000 naira skill acquisition money, you rush, open it, put your name, put your number, put your information.
They want to
before
give
you know it. Put your BVS
access to COVID-19 funds.
So those are issues we have in this country, but that does not also mean that the CBN shouldn't also come to their billing, do their work. But there's something smart the president has also done. Sorry, I'm taking your time. There's something smart the president did, to my own understanding. That 200 naira, for him to say, okay, let's put it back into circulation, that should also tell you that he has the mind of the people. Okay? Because politician, as in, he has the mind of the poor Nigerians. Because these monies, you also need them to do your transport fares. Okay? But I also don't expect a Nigerian, you are going to making 100 naira trip or 15. Well, many a times now there are no 15 naira trips in our land. So I don't also expect Nigeria, if you are making 100 naira trip, you'll be going with 1,000 naira. You're expected to go with like 200 naira or 100 naira. Okay. But we also want to live in abroad, whereby you cannot even bring out 100 pounds or $100 to make a short, maybe $5 expenses and all that. You use your mobile apps. Now, why am I also saying this? Because when you are making your short trips, yes, you can go with your small naira, where it is where you should even use them. But that does not mean that when you are making a trip, like you are going to Lagos, that you are paying like 10, 15, 20,000, you'll now be going to look for cash. My brother, my sister, you need to do a transfer. And why are we even are we even encouraging all this transfer? It will even help the CBN from not printing excess cash for these our politicians to be stealing or be holding back. And mind you, the money that we are even talking about, CBN, go and print this money, it is still money that they used to print this money. You and myself, our monies, our tax. Okay? I think I'll just stop here. Let me not dwell so much on that topic.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Victor, for sharing your thoughts on that particular headline. Let's move straight now to our next paper for today, which is the Daily Sun newspaper. We have more interesting headlines. This one on page 2 and 6 says, Old Naira notes Supreme Court overrules CBN as violent protest spread. Supreme Court overrules CBN as violent protest spread. Okay. 5 feared killed. Banks, ATM, POS, political parties, billboard raise. Old Naira notes remain legal tender according to Apex Court. More details on this headline is on page 2 and on page 6 of the Daily Sun. On page 26 here we have election. We are watching Nigeria carefully. We are watching Nigeria carefully according to UN. We are watching Nigeria carefully according to UN on page 26 of the Daily Sun. On page 27 we have IPOB warns against attack on Igbo electorate in Nigeria. IPOB warns against attack on Igbo electorate in Nigeria. That's on page 27 of Daily Sun. This one here says on page 6, no intimidation will cow us to stop protest against EFCC chair, according to CSO's leader. Says no intimidation will cow us to stop protest against EFCC chair. CSO's leader saying on page 6 of the Daily Sun. On page 6 again we have Edo orders arrest of Oshomole over masterminding protest. Edo orders arrest of Oshomole over masterminding protest. That's on page 6 of the Daily Sun. And this one says on page 6 as well, Tinubu, Wike, APC leaders meet in Port Harcourt as party holds rally in Rivers. Tinubu, Wike, APC leaders meet in Port Harcourt as party holds rally in Rivers. Okay, that's on page 6 of the Daily Sun. And lastly, in the Daily Sun for today on page 27 we have IPOB, Finland considers ways to address ECPA's activities. Concerned over threats issued from its land. IPOB, Finland considers ways to address ECPA's activities. Concerned over threats issued from its land. That's on page 27 of the Daily Sun. That's still much we can take in the Daily Sun. As usual, if you want more details, get a copy of Daily Sun for yourself. Mr. Victor, what do you make of Tinubu and Wike meeting?
Let me mention, will I say 2 or 3 things that happened yesterday in the Liberation Stadium, where the APC came to flag off their campaign. Yeah, one will say flag off their campaign, but the election is just less than 9 days. Okay, so what are the highlights of yesterday? We had Duncan Mighty, the Port Harcourt sensational winning Mighty. We had him perform on the day. We had Toyeko, that's the Guba candidate of the APC, hosting his presidential candidate, that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okay, we also had Dakuku Peter Side, who is former Guba candidate of the APC, and he was present. But there was one man that was not available yesterday, and it read some signals. The person of Right Honorable Chibuike Amechi. He was not there, and I think that has also sent a strong signal. That
why do you think he wasn't there?
I think because he does not. He's not a party of the Tinubu's campaign team. He's not interested.
Why do you think, or why do you believe, or why do you feel Amechi wouldn't want to be a part of Tinubu's campaign?
Because he's hot. He's hot, I think. And mind you, he came second. Yeah, he came second in a fairly contested APC presidential primary. And I'm even still shocked when I mentioned it that Right Honorable Chibuike Amechi came second. It is a thing to lift his hand up, because man, that battle was fierce. A battle where you had the Jagaband of Africa, where you had the current vice president of the nation, Yemi Osinbajo, which people don't even talk about him any longer. And you had the Senate president, who was in quotes the anointed one, when Adamu, the APC chairman, made the pronouncement that Adamu is the preferred candidate of the president, and somebody like Amechi came second. It's also so will I say unstrategic of the current APC PCC, that's the presidential campaign team, not to find ways to align with the person of Chibuike Amaechi for the fact that he scored second position. That tells you a lot that he has his followers. And mind you, this might not be the right, but we know Amaechi as not that person that it's not oh come on, a vote buyer. Let me just keep it that way. He is not known to be a vote buyer. Okay. Let me just keep it that way. I might be wrong, but I just made my point. So that's one of what happened. One of the highlights of yesterday. Then we also saw social media videos where the PDP supporters in Rivers State were now wearing the Jagaban logo, meaning that they are working in hand with Jagaban, and there are still strong, very strong indication that the governor of the state, Governor Wike, is also supporting the APC. But yes, he has not come publicly. But we also should not also forget. Okay.
But should it be true? What do you think that would make of Wike, given the fact that he so far his body language hasn't really shown that he's supporting Obi, or he's supporting Atiku, or he's supporting Tinubu? Should this be true? What do you think that would make of him?
You know, I've made some predictions that that has really worked, and I want to make this one more prediction. That come Monday, from now till Monday, latest Monday, Amaechi Wike will be out of the PDP. He will be expelled from the PDP. I have this strong way.
Why? Because of anti-party activities?
Exactly. They've struck on Nnamani, the former governor of Chimaroke Nnamani, the former governor of Enugu State, and I know they will strike on.
And all of this could be down to his rift with Atiku, right?
Yes. No. They are rich with the PDP. They are rich with the PDP. That's Atiku rather. And yesterday we had somebody of Daniel Buala coming out to say not so good words about Wike, and from indication they might just go hard on him before Monday.
Wow.
Yeah, they might just go hard on him.
Okay, we'll go on a quick break right now, and when we return, we'll continue from where we stopped, and then we'll take our last paper. So stay tuned.
Hey there, are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Thavtv Media give life to your dreams. Thavtv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Hey, still on the newspaper review here on Thavtv. You are welcome back from that short break. We're taking you now straight to the Guardian newspaper, where we have some more interesting headlines. This one here says Naira redesign. Hope deferred as Supreme Court adjourns suit to February 22nd. Hope deferred as Supreme Court adjourns suit to February 22nd. This one here on page 8 says cash scarcity. Protest rock Benin, Warri, Ilorin, and Uyo. Cash scarcity. Protest rock Benin, Warri, Ilorin, and Uyo. That's on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. On page 8 again, we have Afenifere, YCE, OPC, others blast IGP over allegation of arms stockpiling in Southwest. Afenifere, YCE, OPC, others blast the Inspector General of Police over allegation of arms stockpiling in Southwest. More details on that headline is on page 6, page 8. I beg your pardon, of the Guardian newspaper. This one here says on page 3. How presidential candidates pay influencers to peddle fake news on social media by CDD reports. That's on page 3. How presidential candidates pay influencers to peddle fake news on social media by CDD reports. That's on page 3 of The Guardian. On page 4 of The Guardian, we have JAMB shifts 2023 UTME registration to February 22nd. JAMB shifts 2023 UTME registration to February 22nd. That's on page 4 of The Guardian. And this one here, lastly, this one here on page 4 again says protesting CSOs accuse Bawa of infiltration to save EFCC job. Protesting CSOs accuse Bawa of infiltration to save EFCC job. And lastly, on The Guardian, we have on page 27, this one says presidency. North has 4-year deficit. Suffered more under Buhari, says Ango Abdullahi. North has 4-year deficit. Suffered more under Buhari, says Ango Abdullahi on page 27 of The Guardian newspaper. That's the much we can take in The Guardian newspaper for today. Mr. Victor, how presidential candidates pay influencers to peddle fake news on social media by CDD reports. How do you react to this?
So there is this report with the CDD and the BBC. They did an investigation and they found out that many influencers, especially the Twitter and Instagram influencers, that they collect as large as $1,000 to $2,000, okay, on a monthly basis, okay, and the younger ones, the upcoming ones, to spread fake information, okay. Wow. Yeah, the younger ones, the upcoming ones, they take up to $500 per month, okay. So we already know that this happens, because why am I saying this? I don't want to mention any handle right here, but you see some handles when the political season started, they were for a particular candidate. After a while, they now switched.
Okay.
So when you see such moves, many a times it is because the other person is paying more. Okay. So they switch. In fact, I bet you some persons I also do not want to mention at this time,
spreading news, fake news.
Just this time that there are strong rumors. It's not. Why am I even saying strong rumors? That Wike is working for the APC. That this guy has moved from the PDP, selling PDP and Wike, to now selling Wike as now selling APC. Somebody has been selling PDP now within just the space of 1 week, just recently. How can you just by the 9 minutes of the election, you have now switched to selling
all the followers, people following you, people.
And yes, and these persons have when you go back to their tweets, yes, they also go back to delete them. You see where they even tweeted where a particular political party is cancerous, but now that particular party that they called cancer is they are now marketing a cancerous party. So
money. Is there anything money cannot do?
Yeah, this is not just about Nigeria. It also happens in international politics, where we had during the times of Russia peddling with the US elections. Things like this also happen, and they mobilize people they give them money for them to spread malicious and fake news. This is no news, and we just thank God we are just almost at the election, and I know many of Nigerians have made up their mind on who to vote for. And there is something remarkable I missed out to say about the president in his speech this morning. He said something: vote your choice. I never expected it, Mr. Cyril, but yeah, Nigerians, please vote your choice.
What do you expect him to say?
Make up your mind.
On live TV.
To vote for his party.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to vote for his party. But he just made that utterance.
He's the president, so he should be neutral. He's expected to be neutral at this point. Yeah, he should be neutral. So
are you sure that? Oh, let's not go back to the times. So mind you, Obasanjo was not neutral during his time when they brought in
Buhari. Now this is Buhari. This is Obasanjo.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Victor, for your time with me on the program today. I really appreciate. I also appreciate you, my wonderful viewers, who have been faithful to your screen up until this time. Without you, this program wouldn't have been possible. Thank you so much for staying faithful. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and I want to say that if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. And after subscribing, do well to turn on your notification bell so you get notified when we come online and when we drop our new videos. Okay, check us out on our various social media platforms. On YouTube, we are Thavtv on YouTube. On Instagram, we are Thavtv_NG on Instagram. On Facebook and Twitter, we are Thavtv. So I would say a very wonderful, enjoy your day for now until we come your way again next time. Bye for now.